Hi, and welcome to this week's The Mortgage Broker Broadcast. I'm your host, Craig Skelton. I'm a mortgage business owner, mentor, and coach, and I'm here to help self employed brokers and business owners build the business that they want. This is the podcast that's made for mortgage brokers every single level, whether you're just starting out with CMAP in your hand, or you're running your own mortgage broker firm, or you're focused on growing and scaling your existing business. This podcast is all about helping you grow your business, sharpen your mindset, and deal with the day to day challenges of being self employed. And this week, we're getting into something that is so important and a real game changer when it comes to AI for mortgage brokers. And that's how to actually build it into your day to day workflow. So, not just playing around with it, not just trying it once and then forgetting about it, giving up. I'm talking about making AI part of how you work every single week, every single day to save time, reduce that mental load, and stay consistent. Because knowing what AI can do is one thing, but making it part of your process, that's when the results really start to show up. And before we get into podcast, just a quick reminder that on Thursday, the 3rd of July, 6 p.m., Jonathan Needham and I are running a free live webinar through the Broker Foundry called Foundations to Freedom. And if you're thinking about going self employed or you're early in your journey and want more support and structure, this session is for you really. We'll cover the transition, the systems you need, and how to build a business that gives you real freedom. You can register from the link in the show or just send me a message directly and we'll book your seat on that webinar. And if you're enjoying this series, then please give me a like, a follow, or leave a review. It helps more brokers find the podcast and keeps me motivated to share what works. So let's just get into the podcast and look at why AI is so important to build into your workflow. So, first of all, why do workflows matter? Let's start with that mind shift. First of all, AI isn't here to add more to your plate, give you another plate to spin. That's the last thing you need as a mortgage broker. It's here to take the edge off the stuff that really slows you down. So you might have already got a workflow and a process, but the question is it actually working for you? Most brokers I speak to are overwhelmed with general tasks like follow up emails or post on social media or chasing clients for documents or drafting newsletters or putting together summarizing notes after that first appointment. AI can support all of that, but only if you build it into your daily routine. So, what can AI do for your daily, weekly workflow? First of all, let's break it down into simple, repeatable tasks that you can automate or delegate to AI each week. So let's say Monday is your weekly content creation day. Well, use ChatGPT to generate 3 LinkedIn posts, an email newsletter, a blog outline if you're writing one, and I really do suggest you do use a blog for your website if you're not using one already. So yeah, Monday is content creation and use AI. So give it the prompts. You're a mortgage broker creating a LinkedIn post for self-employed clients. Write a friendly post explaining how income is assessed, keep it 150 words and make it relatable. Monday. So make sure you're using AI. So that will speed up the process for Monday in terms of your content creation. So that's just one prompt that you could use that built into your content creation day on a Monday using ChatGPT. So Tuesday could be your document follow-up day. So you ask AI to write a WhatsApp style message chasing missing documents using friendly short prompts to save time. So that example would be write a polite and friendly WhatsApp message reminding clients to upload their ID documents before Friday. Done. We'll create that for you. You've told it what to do, and that's a good prompt. So Wednesday could be where you put all your meetings from the past 7 days. So look at the appointments you've had the last 7 days, and you want to use AI to help you summarize those points. So that you could paste in like rough bullet points, or even the recording of the meeting if you've got that in Teams or you record your audio, and then ask AI to turn them into professional summaries or follow up emails. And the prompt would be turn these bullet points or turn these recording into a follow up email confirming next steps after a mortgage appointment. And then on Thursday, you do your client education post. So you can use ChatGPT to write one or two plain English explainers for things like decision in principles or remortgage versus product transfer. So the prompt example for that would be write an Instagram caption explaining what a remortgage is in plain English and suitable for first time homeowners. So that's your educational post done on Thursday. So Friday, review and plan day. For those that listened to my podcast before, I'm keen to make sure that you review on Friday and then plan the following week on a Friday. So you can use AI to do that as well, because if AI has got integrated with stuff like your to-do list, then you could use AI to summarize what's gone on this week, what you've done, generate a to-do list for the following week, generate a content plan for next week, or even draft a checklist for next week too. So AI can help with all that. And again, prompts are key with that. So your prompt could be create a weekly to-do list for me for next week, managing the 10 active cases that I've got, managing those 3 new leads that have come in this week, and then create a monthly newsletter as well. The more you embed AI into your process, the more you embed AI and give it access to what you do and the apps you use and your documents, the more that can help with your review and your plan. So that's just can be a week of a typical Monday to Friday of things that you need to do as a mortgage broker, as a business owner. You could do things different days, absolutely. You could do all things on one day. Doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to explain how you can get AI integrated with what you do day in, day out to make sure that it helps with what you need to do process wise and your workflow wise, week in, week out. So let's look at the benefits of building AI into your workflow. So when you make AI part of your routine, you're going to get more consistency showing up every single week online and in emails and with your clients. It will help give you more headspace, which is so important as a broker, as a business owner. You stop reinventing or trying to reinvent the wheel and staring at blank screens looking for creation when you don't need to do that. Use AI, and then that will give you more time. You can reclaim the hours you spend advising so you can see more clients, or you can spend more time learning, or spending more time just switching off. Whatever works for you, it will give you more time. However you want to use it is up to you, which then will lead to more energy, because the little repetitive tasks aren't draining your mental. Those little, why does it give you more energy? Well, because the little repetitive tasks aren't draining you anymore like they normally do when you're using AI. And you start to feel like you're in control again. You're not just reacting day in, day out, week in, week out. You're creating systems that support you, support your business, and the life that you want. So let's look at the common questions and misconceptions with regards to AI. First one is, won't it all sound robotic? And it will. If you just copy and paste without reviewing, will it sound robotic? Absolutely. But what you need to do is use that output as a draft, then tweak it into your voice using words that you use. So just make sure you don't copy and paste to avoid being sounding robotic. Is AI compliant? The next thing I get often asked about is that, is AI compliant? And yes, it is, as long as you're not using AI to give regulated advice. So depends on what you're using it for. So if you are, say, for example, general rule with content is that give advice, or there's a call to action there, it needs a normal disclaimers on. So if you don't want to put all the disclaimers on, use the prompt and tell it not to offer advice or put a call to action in there, and then you will be able to do that, and you'll know that your content is compliant. And also as well, using AI, moving on from content, think about admin and planning and your communications. You are still in control with it. So yes, it will be compliant as long as you use it for the right reasons. Does AI take too long to learn? Well, absolutely not. It sort of, most of this takes minutes once you've written your first few prompts. Start with, what I'd say is start with 1 day a week and then build from there. The quicker you embrace it, the more you embrace it, as with everything, the quicker you'll learn. Build it into your process, build it into your workflow, and you will learn all about AI. Which that leads on to sort of probably actions that you can do to get started with AI. So the last thing I want to talk about is actionable steps to get started with AI. So how to start building AI into your workflow this week. So the first thing to do is just pick one task. simple. That's all I want you to do. Pick one task that slows you down, whether that's email, social media, follow-ups, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. Write one good prompt using the structure that I shared last week on the podcast last week, which was role, task, tone, context. So use that, the four ingredients, use that structure, and then schedule 20 minutes a day to use ChatGPT for that task. And then save your prompts for next week. And then just build from there. One new task in each week, build it onto another one, onto another, and then just build from there. Introduce one new task every single week with AI and just build on those habits, but layer it from there. So this week, pick one task, write a good prompt using the ingredients, using the structure, schedule 20 minutes a day for that task, and then save your best prompts and build the from there. So that's it. That's this week's The Mortgage Broker broadcast, which again, I know we've focused on AI quite a lot recently, obviously doing this series about AI, but I really want to encourage brokers and business owners to embrace AI into their business and sort of see how much time it can save as a business owner, as a mortgage broker. So just embrace it. Yes, there is loads of things to look. When you sort of see AI, it can be very confusing. What apps to use, what tools to use, how to use that, which I will talk about that over the next few weeks as well in terms of the podcast. We've talked today about building it into your process. We've talked about building it into your workflow. Then over the next few weeks, we're going to talk about even more about what apps to use and how they can benefit within what you're doing day to day. So we are going to build from there, but I do really want to encourage brokers and business owners to embrace AI to help run their businesses. So that's it. That's this week's The Mortgage Broker broadcast. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And if you found it helpful, as always, please like, please share, please follow, give it a review. Helps more brokers discover the show. Remember the webinar on Thursday, the 3rd of July. So if you're thinking about becoming self-employed or existing self-employed mortgage broker, register for the webinar that Jonathan Needham and I are doing at 6 o'clock on Thursday, the 3rd of July. And if you are thinking about becoming a self-employed mortgage broker, or you want to launch your own brand and business, or ready to take your existing business to the next level, go to my website, craigskelton.co.uk, book a discovery call, or just get in touch and let's just have a chat about how I can help you reach your goals for the second half of the year. And remember, as always, please don't forget to run your own race.